Gadamande, le sateke de badagadamande, le riba sataka da badagadamande, le shotoko zapadagadamande. Lift up your hands in this place. Le shotoko da badagadamande, rekazeke de bedagadamande, le shateke de badagadamande. Our Father and our God, that is indeed the testimony of our hearts, that you are high and lifted up, that we know no other God besides you, mighty God. Daddy, we thank you that it gives you pleasure that your people should be prosperous. Daddy, we thank you that it is the blessing of the Lord that maketh rich and addeth no sorrow. Daddy, we thank you for everyone gathered here, mighty God, that Lord, they shall be indeed blessed beyond measure. Daddy, we thank you for the lifting up, mighty God. We thank you for the lifting up of your people. Daddy, we thank you that it is you who is the lifter up of men. Daddy, we acknowledge you. We acknowledge you in this place, and we lift up our hands above our heads and we give you a clap offering. We are saying yes to you. Hallelujah. Amen. Shake a hand or two. Tell them you're in for the right meeting. Tell them you're in for the right meeting. Well done, well done. As you have your seats. As you have your seats. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much for heeding to this call. It is indeed a wonderful, wonderful meeting. Thank you, worship team. Wapi makofi ya worship team tafadhali. Thank you for a good job, well done. Thank you so much. May God richly bless you. We are ready for you. Are you ready for this session? Are you ready for this session? How many are here? They are saying we are ready to learn. We are ready to learn. Wapi makofi ya Yesu, even as we welcome our speaker. Wapi makofi mazuri mazito. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Thank you very much. Karibu sana.
Yes, so is it good afternoon or evening? It's still good afternoon. Good afternoon. Tuanze hapa. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. That's great. I want us to start on a very light note, because I don't want us to get scared. Is that okay? Can you allow me to be a bit informal? Yes, so that we are able to understand each other. So I'll start with an introduction of who I am and what I do. And then, of course, I'll say why we are here. So my name is Patrick Mwai. Now you can pick the easiest, Patrick or Mwai. And Patrick and Mwai is an IT person. You know IT? IT means information technology. We'll be coming back there. So make sure that you listen very keenly. And if your phone has an AI tool that can record, start recording. Because there is a session where we are supposed to walk out of that door with application knowledge. Are we there? At the end of the day, we are supposed to apply what we learn. That's number one. Number two, after IT, I got into something else called business development. Can you say business development? In the previous session, a lot has been said about wealth creation. A lot has been said about how to start a business. And then we'll be asking ourselves, now this technology, this AI, all these things, data, all those things that we are talking about, how do they fit into what we already know? Some of us here are already running businesses, true or not true? Some of us here are already imagining themselves as business people. Is that so? Now the question is, how long will it take you? And then there was a new term that I saw there that was called scaling. Did you see that? Did you see scaling? And what was scaling? To grow your business beyond where you are currently. Is that so? So the question is, and I want us to be very honest today, is it possible to scale without technology? Sometimes it becomes difficult. So technology fits so well in what we call scaling. Are we there? So my role is very simple, to try and fuse what I do on a daily basis. How do we bring in this technology and then fuse it with business? How do we fuse technology with careers? Those are the only things that we need to talk about here. So that is Patrick Mwai, and currently the head of growth and innovation at Rift Valley Institute of Business Studies and another company called Africa Tech Space. So I want us to look at that term very keenly. Growth, innovation, and technology. Those three things goes hand in hand. Are we there? So today, you'll allow me to go a bit deeper, talk about technology, talk about innovation, and talk about how do we make these things work for us. That is who Patrick Mwai is. And moving forward, I want to move to the next slide. I've already talked about what I do: tech leadership, research, deployment. I'm also highly involved in what we call funding and resource mobilization. Have you ever heard of funding? Funding? Anybody who knows ever heard of funding? Have we heard of grants? You guys are lucky. So that is also another pillar of what I do. And then I'm also highly involved in community activities. In what aspect? Just what I'm doing. Coming to you, telling you what is this AI, and of course to try and demystify the fears that we have had. A lot of people, allow me to start there, when they hear AI, what comes into their mind? Chat GPT. When you try to tell them anything beyond Chat GPT, you know what they do? They broke because of one fear. This AI thing could replace me. This AI thing maybe is too complicated, it's too difficult, and then people keep away. And today, I'll be showing you what happened to those people in the previous who avoided technology the way you are doing, who avoided artificial intelligence the way you are doing. And then we ask ourselves, do you want to actually be there? So, fast forward, I want us to start here. And like I said, you'll allow me to use a bit of practicals. And I don't know who has an idea when artificial intelligence started. When did it start? Artificial intelligence. Can we ask AI when it started? That's possible. You just need to ask it, by the way, when did you start? So I'll then just come here, and I have something called JCC NAKURU. And I want to ask it a question. When did AI start? And I hope I have internet so that we're able to move very fast. So what are we doing? We are asking AI when it did what? When it started. And it's already giving us answers. So there is a lot of data. But there is one thing that I want us to pay attention to. The official birth of AI was in 1965. Can you believe that? 1956, sorry. 1956. That is when AI came in. To us, and many of us here, they heard of AI with ChatGPT. In fact, a few years ago, around the 1980s, in US, people already started saying that AI is the mark of the beast. You heard of those stories? 666. And by the way, a lot of people were running away from artificial intelligence. Then boom, in Kenya, here seated, we have ChatGPT. Who trained you how to use ChatGPT? I want us to start there. Who trained you how to use ChatGPT? Let's go back a bit further. Who trained you how to use your WhatsApp? I mean, which class did you go to know how to update your status? Do you know why it was so easy? Because you accepted you need it. How comes right now you have not developed an AI case? Can I tell you the answer? Because already you have not accepted it is here with us. When there's a new feature on WhatsApp, is there a class you go back to? And then you tell them, I have heard there is a chat, there's a new feature. Can you show me how to do it on WhatsApp? Somehow, you struggle with it until you hack it. Is that not so? By the time we leave here, I want us to change that mentality. I want us to look at AI, the way you look at your WhatsApp, the way you look at your what? Your Facebook, or have you gone to a class for anybody to show you how to upload a photo on WhatsApp, on Facebook? Hey, you guys, you mean you know all those things with nobody teaching you? It just happened. Are we there? So let's not, first of all, assume that chat AI is new. We have already asked, I developed a case for JCC, and by the way, it's the one that is teaching us. It has given us an answer. You see, it's called JCC Church. So I'm already interacting with it, and it has told me when AI started. Can we ask it another question? And maybe we can ask it, define for us, because in my presentation I don't have that. Define AI. And then we see what we'll get. I know they are shorter, they are a bit small. For people past 20 years old, they will have a long day today, but we'll keep on trying to zoom. Has it defined for me? Those who are able to read, I can try and zoom a bit, and we see, I think that's, we collapse them. I think that's okay. Has it defined for us? It has given us an answer. Artificial intelligence is the science of building machines and systems that can mimic human intelligence. Am I using ChatGPT? The answer is no. I've just developed a case, uploaded something, and then anybody can now run AI seated here. Artificial intelligence. And by the way, it will make your work so easy. To an extent, I know some of us here really hate reading. So let me show you how AI can do it in a few minutes. I have one here. Some of us, I know, and I'm sorry to say that, don't really like these things called reading notes. So what they do is that they avoid. So look at it. I'm so lazy, to an extent I don't have time to read the whole book, but I still really want to learn artificial intelligence. What do? I have developed a case that can help you learn the whole thing with just a click of a button. I want to know types of AI. You click, it processes for you. You click something else, I want to know branches of AI. It does that for you. It has told me there is machine learning, there is deep learning, you can learn from the comfort of your home. That is how AI is. How long did it take to develop this? In 3-4 minutes time, you have it. That is beside the point. Let's go back to our presentation. But now, this is where, and this is the most important slide. This is the most important slide here. Because when many people hear artificial intelligence, they start thinking it's seated somewhere in Silicon Valley. You know US, Silicon Valley. That's where Microsoft is, Huawei. They start thinking that thing is seated somewhere in Silicon Valley. But what is AI? I want us to break it down in the simplest definition possible. And I want us to use a real-time, real-life example. Number one, we all know a child, do we? When a kid is born, do they know anything? They know absolutely nothing. What happens? Shortly, they start seeing. They start observing. Shortly, they start hearing. With the time, you notice that they are making a few things. They have started showing signs. They are attempting to work. They are attempting to walk. That is the same thing with AI. An AI is a machine like this. Are we there? A machine. It can be any machine. Then that machine is what I've tried to replicate there with a human child. A human is born, they know nothing, they keep on learning. So along the line, there is something that we'll introduce called data, and I'll challenge every one of us on how we manage our data. So they start learning. When they are learning, what are they getting? You're feeding them a lot of information, a lot of data. With the time, that child starts learning rules and patterns. Therefore, we can clearly say that they have gained knowledge. Are we there? So what happens? This machine, I start giving it a lot of data. I start training it. I come to JCC and I get all your information. I feed it into this machine. This machine starts running. Are we there? With the time, that kid starts doing what? Taking actions. And how do they take action? Those who have small kids and with experience can tell you, you'll one day just wake up, open your eyes, the baby is doing something. They have picked something. What happens? As they grow, they start becoming even more difficult. Is that not so? Tachukua mawe, arusha wapi? Kwa TV. Did you train them how to do that? But along the way, they have gotten to a point where, through the knowledge you have given them, they can start taking actions with or without your control. That is the same thing with artificial intelligence. Is a machine, and that is the only definition I want you to have, is a machine that has data, and then it has a lot of data. To an extent now it's able to make decisions. Are we there? Do we use AI? How? Can I tell you something? Out of 10 people right now, 8 are already using artificial intelligence, knowingly or unknowingly. So the question is not whether you are using it, you're already using it. Because some of you have cameras, have phones. You take a photo, you tell it blur. How does it blur? You take another photo, you tell it to do this. You're already using artificial intelligence. The question is it deliberate or by accident? Now what we need to do is to get to a point where we understand what does it take to make artificial intelligence useful. Are we there? Can we all now define artificial intelligence? Good thing is, I'm a teacher. Can we all define artificial intelligence? Don't look for sophisticated definitions. That is what artificial intelligence is. Is a machine, and I don't want to say which machine. It can be any machine. Right now, some of us have cars. Those cars, they're able to recognize there's a human being, you need to block, you need to stop. You are getting out of the lane, you need to stop. What is that? Artificial intelligence. How does it learn? Go to Nairobi and you'll meet a lot of young people. There's a building in Nairobi, let me tell you this, a building 3 floors, full of young people, and their work is only one. Wake up in the morning and train those cars. You understand that? And how do they train? putting a lot of images and feeding it and labeling. So it will pick you. The guy will take your photo, upload it on the system, label. There's a human being. Take another thing, there's a tree, label, put it on. That is what we call data annotation. So these things are not happening in Silicon Valley. They're already happening in Kenya. And I've already given you an example of Nairobi. So they get trained for so long, to an extent now that car, you can confidently leave it, and it will take you where you want to go. How does it know there's a human being? How does it know there's a zebra crossing? It has been trained. That's why we are saying data. Are we there? And today, I want us to ask ourselves, do we have data? Because you cannot separate artificial intelligence with data. You cannot. Those two things must work together. Do we have data within ourselves? Do we have data? You realize sooner or later you have more data than you never need. Let's pick an example of where we are today. If I've been able to develop a case for JCC Church with one click of a button, what if I had all the data of JCC? What kind of a system would we have developed? We would get to a point where it can even know you, what you do, how much you tithe, do you come to church, with a click of a. It will get to a point you cannot now pray here. You saying I tithe, I don't. No. The system is able to just speak head to head. And what does that take? Data. Are we there? What is data? A simple definition of data. Anything about you or an entity. Simple mathematics. You see your name, that's data. You see your phone number, that's data. And today, I want us in your mind, can we do something? In your mind, this is what I want you to do. I want us to pick a young man from that side and another one from this side. Tuko hapo? Let me pick this guy here. I want to show you the power of data. Just stand up. Then I pick a Rede with a Masai something. Just stand up. And I want us to work together. Sawa sawa? This guy gets a job in town. Are we there? He gets a job in town. This shop, they sell phones. Are we there? She also gets a job in town, and they also sells phones. Different shops altogether. This guy attended a seminar on how to use data and artificial intelligence. So what does he do? He waits for the pastor to come and buy a phone. Then he asks the pastor, can I get your number? He takes the number, the model of the phone, and all the details. By the time pastor is leaving the door, there's something he knows. He knows the name of the pastor. He knows the model of the phone he likes. Is that so? He also knows, he has recorded which date have you bought a phone. Then he has gone an extra mile and he has recorded that data. Are we there? Then he tells the pastor, thank you. For her, the pastor walks in, what phone are you looking for? It's 20,000, there's it. See you next time. Can I tell you what will happen? In the morning, somebody talked about scaling. Did you hear that? This guy will scale, she'll never scale. Can I tell you why? This guy knows that phone that was bought after 3 years will be obsolete. True or not true? He has the number, he knows the pastor, he has everything. For her, she has to wait every day for a new customer. So for him, what he'll do is very simple. After 3 years, he'll start sending pastor a message. There's a new model of Samsung. There's a new model of Samsung. There's a new model of, do you know what will happen to the pastor? He'll start asking, Kwani, how old is my phone that these people are every day telling me there is a new model? What will happen, he'll start getting tempted to go back and buy the phone. But is he doing that to only the pastor? He's doing that to all the customers he has met the entire year. What about her? She has to sit. Customers wakipita, kuja. This guy, at one point, can actually close that shop and forget about it. No rent, no nothing. Start looking for customers who are already known to him. Are we there? What about her? There's a problem, a very big problem. Now, I want you to imagine now, you are the boss of those two people. Who are you retaining? Who are you sending home? Because as the economy looks like, one of them has to go home. Who are you sending home? My friend, don't be biased. Who would you send home? And she is saying she would send the lady home. You can sit down. What made the difference? It starts with data. What do you know? Unfortunately, for many of us, and sorry to say so, for many of us, we are at a point where we still have not accepted the reality. Are we there? We are still saying this artificial intelligence will come and go. These people are talking about AI. I'm already an engineer. I'm already an accountant. A few days ago, a month ago or so, an accountant came and told me that she need a place. She can be in Nakuru for like 3 days. She need to do reconciliation. Do you have accountants here? Wako? This guy now can understand me. She need to do reconciliation, which is to compare the money in the bank and the other side. She need how many days? 3. I asked her, is there a unique code here? Yes. Is there another one here? Yes. And you are sitting for 3 days. I told her, I think there's something wrong somewhere. We sat with her, applied a tool. Within 4 hours, she had only one work to do: verify. Check whether it is true or not true. So how many days reduced to 1? 3 reduced. But till now, we are still having people who think AI is for a certain group and not for another group. It doesn't matter whether you are an engineer, it doesn't matter whether you are a nurse, it doesn't matter what. You must do what we are calling fusing. You know what is fusing? You take your career, you ask yourself, how am I supposed to use it in what I do on daily basis? And we are going there. Now, there are people who have a lot of problems. Number one, there are people who say, starts with human emotions. Conscious, sentiment beings with human emotions. Does AI have emotions? It doesn't. It totally doesn't. That one we need to agree first. Number two, there are people who say that these are terminators coming to steal all human jobs. Can I tell you just one word there? I don't want to lie to you that AI will not replace people. That is a lie, and we are in church. Sidio? But who will be replaced? Those who don't embrace AI. Have we seen it? It's as simple as that. So let nobody tell you that AI will not replace people. AI will replace people. The question is, who are these people? Number 3, magic that requires zero human intervention. Is that so? Is it magic? Is AI magic? It's not. It's not. AI requires something that is called human in the loop. Are we there? What is human in the loop? We are living in a generation, and Pastor should not hear this. We are living in a generation, Pastor, this one don't hear, where the concentration level of these people is 8 seconds. Go and do your research. 8 seconds. The guy who created TikTok, what was in his mind? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Why didn't he allow you to upload a video of 20 minutes? He knew, first of all, nobody can consume 20 minutes of content. Are we there? That is why you can go open a movie. Are you following? It starts the song. Before you see the character, you move to the next one. Do you do that? You already hate it, not because of the content. The starting, these are the same people who will be on YouTube and Facebook, scroll for 5 hours. I want you to try that one of these fine days. Stop them. Tell them, what did you get? They'll tell you, I got absolutely nothing. But what were they doing? They were actually very busy. That is the tragic that we are now having. So when we say that it requires zero human intervention, is already catching up with us. Because what are we doing? Go to ChatGPT, tell it, define for me AI. You copy and you paste. You take to the teacher. You take to whoever you want to take. You want to look for a job. You give it information. It will generate for you an application letter. You copy and you paste. And then you submit for application. That is a very big problem that we must fight with. That's why we are saying it is a very big myth to try and imagine that AI can work by itself. It requires that you also use your brains. It requires that you verify. It requires that you authenticate. So first of all, that's one we must forget about it. The last one, perfectly accurate and unbiased. That's also another myth. That's not true. If you're not careful, it will give you information that is actually not true. Are we there? It's not verified. So you have a responsibility as a user of making sure and living to the fact that it is not accurate, it is unbiased. It is biased. Sometimes you'll ask it something and it will give you a very biased answer. Are we there? So as we talk about AI, we must be alive to those myths. Are we there? But then what is the reality? It is a mathematical model driven by data and algorithm. Now, do you understand data? Do you know what data is? We have already talked about it. Algorithms. Now, there is a technical thing. What is an algorithm? An algorithm, I want to bring it to you in a very simple way, is basically you trying to think like a model. Are we there? You trying to think like a model. So in this case, what are we saying? We are saying that it combines so many factors before it gives you a response. Are we there? And we'll go to that in a minute. What else does it do? It enhances productivity, enhancing tools that automate repetitive tasks. Look at your life. And this is very important. Look at your life as a person. What is it that you do on a daily basis and you are repeating every single day? Are there those kind of tasks? You wake up, every day you are a secretary. And every day you have to sit down with minutes. By the way, do secretaries participate in meetings? Really? Do they think in the meeting through? 90% of the time, they are just there very busy with a pen and a paper. What is that? It's repetitiveness. And whether you like it or not, you'll find yourself a secretary somewhere. People will appoint you, be the secretary today. Does it mean that now you become a robot? You know, I look at a secretary like a robot. Yani askize, munasema nini? Take action points, take them, then later sit down, finalize them, share. Do we still do that in this era? It's happening. But do we still need to continue doing it? That is a repetitive task. And we'll ask ourselves today, how do we reduce these repetitive tasks? How do we automate them? How do we use artificial intelligence? So already in your mind, I want you to start asking yourself, what is it that I do? And every day I'm repeating the same exact things. A good example is, I don't know whether here we have customer service. Whose work is one? To respond to WhatsApp messages. Do we have such a person? Message. Respond, the search number. What is that? That is a repetitive tasks. Do we still continue doing them? Those are now the questions that we need to ask ourselves. Depend on the quality of data. Are we there? Remember today we are breaking the myths. Leo kuna kudanganyana. Is the reality as it is? It depends on the quality of data. The data you give it will determine how good it works for you. Are we there? And now, you have two assignments until now. Looking at what you do daily, what are the tasks you do, what do we need to automate? Are you already processing that? Number two, I know you're already asking yourself, which is this data that I interact with daily? How do I use that data? And I want to tell you about US. You've heard of a guy called Donald Trump. You've heard of him. How did he win the election? Can I give you another example? That guy, both of them want to be MPs. This guy is very busy, January to December, trying to get the contacts of all the constituencies. Are we there? For her, she is fundraising money to go and do campaign physically. Can I tell you what will happen? This guy, seated in the comfort of his home, he will be pressing one button, ta. Everybody in the constituency gets a message. How many towns can you go in a day to spread your gospel? It's a bit difficult. Are we there? So you are now starting to realize the role of data in all this conversation. You cannot talk about AI when you're talking about data, and that will keep coming up. So start asking yourself, what is this data as a career person, as a young person, as this person who want to apply for a grant, as this person who want to start a business? What is this data that I require? Because without data, you can only use GPT. But with the data, there is absolutely nothing that you cannot use. Let's move on. And there's another thing that I really like. Can you see that? This is where we are coming from. You cannot learn the future if you don't understand the history. We started with industrial era. What did industrial era do? Look at that. Mechanized physical labor. In this country, there are times people had to physically do everything they had to do. Physically. Are you getting that? Anything you needed to do, it had to be done physically. Who did it benefit? Those people who actually took advantage of it and started companies and industries, they were able to get mass wealth production. Because people required that whatever you are producing, they'll buy. So those people who took advantage of that era, they were able to do something. Because every era will reward some people. Do you know that? Every era. COVID. Are there millionaires who are made during COVID? How did they make millions? Some guys, I heard pastor say, he just started something. He made millions. I'm quoting his words. Another guy looked at COVID and realized, oh my God, there's an opportunity for me to go to China and come back with 2 containers of mask. He came to them, left 1 container in Nairobi, another one in Nakuru. He sold them. He was getting 1 at 2 bob, selling 1 at 10 bob. How much is that profit? Can you imagine 2 trailers of masks? Is that a millionaire or not a millionaire? Every crisis, every season rewards some people. Now we are in artificial intelligence season. We are going there. Then later, we got the internet era. At least you found it there, majority of you. What happened to the internet era? It rewarded the rise of global digital businesses. That's when Safaricom came in. Do you know a company bigger than Safaricom in Kenya? What did it leverage on? Mobile phones and internet. I want to remind something. You know Nokia. Have you ever heard of Nokia? Do you know? I want to remind you, because you might not be aware, those days you are still young, some of you. There were days, if you had Nokia, the one with the buttons, it's like you had a Mercedes-Benz. Mind you, you could not actually put credit on it, because credit was 1,000. Many people didn't have 1,000 to buy credit. But many people just bought the phone. And another tragic there is, people didn't have your number anyway. So what are you using the internet for? What is the use of that phone? It's basically your phone. You know you have the phone. How many of us here are using Nokia? Whether smartphone or otherwise. Do we have anybody? Can I still tell you there is Nokia smartphones? See, they are there. Kwa nini hamna? Na inafanya kazi tu kama iPhone. Kwa nini hauna? Can I tell you what happened to Nokia? When smartphones were introduced, Nokia as a company were reluctant. This thing will come and go. Before they realize, Techno, PAP, they have smartphones. Sooner or later, other brands of companies. When they were trying to make an attempt to produce their smartphone, people had moved so far to an extent they were hearing the term Nokia. Ni kama venye unasikia history, Jojo. They didn't want to associate with it. That is what happens when you ignore technology. It can kill you as a person, it can kill your business, it can kill the giants. It killed Nokia. That is what happens. So there are people who made, that's when the rise of global digital businesses. Mobile era, we've talked about it. And then there we are, AI era. And our system there told us it started in 1956. So it's not so new. The issue is, in Kenya, that's now when it's hitting us. In US, by the way, I don't know whether you do a bit of research. The biggest companies in US and developed countries are now investing on only two sides of businesses. Data centers, because we have understood what is data. They are building mass data centers, multi-billion. They know that is where the world is going. In Kenya, for some reason we've been lucky. We have also built one data center. I don't know whether you are aware. We have a data center in Konza City. A very mass one, a very big one. So in Kenya, we cannot now say that we are behind. We already have a data center. Some of us, imagine, some of us don't even know have data, but we are building a data center. Is it going to be useful to us? If you don't know what is data, are you able to utilize data center? It's not possible. So that's where we are. So I want us to read this. The reward, unprecedented individual productivity, and the ability to scale industries. I didn't know that the previous pastor was talking about scaling businesses. But now can you see where they are meeting? It's not possible for you to talk about scaling when you don't talk about data, and now that's where artificial intelligence comes in. That is the era. So in this case, who are going to be rewarded? What is it that you are going to be rewarded with? That's now the question that we need to answer today. But at the back of your mind, I want to keep reminding you. How many things? Data and things that you do repetitively. We are going there. So we look at this. The core classification of AI. Remember we started with somebody, the pastor asking, who have heard about AI? Wengine tukaweka mkono chini. AI is now in a number of levels. And I want us to start from up. Artificial super intelligence. I don't want to really talk about it because we are very far from that. Artificial general intelligence. And what can it do? Human level intelligence that can perform any intellectual task a human can do. Status, not yet achieved. Then we come artificial narrow intelligence. Do you know the meaning of narrow? Narrow means what? The smallest. Are we there? So what does that tell you as an intellectual? It tells you we are actually beginning. Are we there? We are just beginning. With all the AI that you know that is in the world, truth of the matter is we have just begun. We are in narrow intelligence. We still have artificial general intelligence to achieve. We still have artificial super intelligence to achieve. So which is the other right time to adopt it? It can only be now. Saying that you'll spend the next 3 months or 3 years, ni kama kuenda kwa athletics. You know athletics? You are one of them. Wewe ukae kado. Seme mimi venye naona, nyie deni raundi 3. Nitawa? Are you ever catching up with them? Unless a miracle happens. That's how I look at it. The way, if you are here, I want you to imagine there's a field. There are already people who are on their 12th lap out of 24. So when are you going to catch up with them? Before you realize, in your round 2, they are done and dusted. It will take you too long. It will cost you a lot of money to catch up with them. Are we there? I don't know whether you've been into a class, you get sick, you're out of school for a week. Chemistry, book 3. You go back when they are already in topic 4. Do you ever catch up? Guys, do you ever catch up? Hey, unless you are a genius. I mean, you missed more 1 and you understand more 2. Is it happening? Unless there is a miracle. That can be the end of you with the chemistry. That is the same thing here. Are we there? So you guys are so lucky that the pastor has seen the vision from very far. I've gone to Citizen, I've gone to so many places, but this is only happening in church for the first time. I've never heard, I've never imagined. So so you guys should know that there's a God who spoke to the pastor and told him there's something coming up and your people need to be prepared. And there you are. So I want to assure you, you are not late. Are we there? You are in the right place. But now, whatever we say must be done today, must start today. Because the only way you can achieve or get benefit of something is when you apply what you learn. If you learn and you keep it in your mind, that is the end of the story. You don't get anything. So the things at the end that you'll say we need to do, we must actually do them. Let's move on. So we've agreed. You see, hizi vitu zote, you'll be a beneficiary if you place yourself in the right place today. Moving forward, can you imagine? You can be in any of those areas, any of them. You can be in conversational AI. You know Siri. You guys know Siri, Sirio? And some of you use it already. That is a conversational AI. There is reactive AI. We have limited memory AI. This is assignment that you'll do at your own timing. The fonts. Is that better? I think that's much better. There is reactive AI. There is memory AI. I don't want to explain. And memory AI, you've heard of self-driving AI, cars and all that. That's memory AI. There's analytical AI. I've just talked about the accountants. When you talk about accounting and you talk about data analysis, accountants understand it better. Every single day of their life, they need to use AI. For what? For them, they don't need to know so many things. They have a focus. Memory, AI. When we look at generative AI, that's where our topic will be revolving today. Then there is MIND, theory of MIND AI, designed to understand human emotions and beliefs. Can you believe that? There's a system that you can interact with, is AI powered, and at the end of the day, it tells you who you are. Are we there? They are there. I'm not telling you stories, they are there. You see that? What is it telling us? Oh, these things are too tiny. Let me try zooming. Can you see that? What is it telling you? Find the right career for you. These are for guys who are struggling with the career. It is an AI-powered system. What are you doing? You just select a few things. At the end of the day, you're going to get a reflection of who you are. Can I tell you what it will do? It will analyze you. It will tell you, we think you are more fit to go and do engineering. It will give you details about all the fields in engineering at the comfort of your phone. Get that? It will go ahead and tell you, in Kenya, what are these colleges and universities offering that career? 100% AI powered. That is a good example of what we have just called theory of mind AI and self AI. And now this is where the real learning starts. This is where the real learning starts. Because all of us here, all of us, and I want us to be honest, there is something amongst these that we use on daily basis. True or not true? Text. Do we generate text every day? Whether you are chatting, whatever you're doing, do we generate text? Yes, all of us, every day. Do we have people, especially that area, who do image generation? Somebody has already said yes. Do we have people who do video generation? Do we have? Allow me to show you one here. Allow me to show you one here. Allow me to show you one here so that you see what I'm talking about when I say video generation. I saw a poster that had pastor image, and I thought, I hope this will play. I hope it will play without. Joseph, can we have the sound? Can you put the sound? Yeah. I want us to look at it and then we ask ourselves, this is the pastor. Is AI. I don't know whether his sound looks is like that. We'll see. When it's ready, just notify me. Okay, I'm told to continue, then we'll go back there. So video generation, every single day. In fact, there's a guy who, in US, who was trying to set up a studio, a multi-million studio. Everything ready, everything sorted. Then he made a video, like the one I'm just supposed to present here, and the question was, why should I spend all that money only for it to be replaced by AI in a few days? And he said to engineers, forget about it. Go to YouTube right now, and you realize that there are people who are no longer doing video shooting whatsoever. They are generating the entire music, characters, head to head. They monetize. They start getting their money. Are you getting there? So we are not talking about AI that is in South Africa or US. It's already here with us. Music generation, I've talked about it. Do we have IT people here? IT people? Wako? Hey, atu IT? Good. Maybe, Joseph, how long, 3 years ago, how long did it take to develop a website? On average? 3 weeks, 4 weeks. How about today? 2 days. So reduction from how many to how many? From 4 weeks to how many days? Now go to university, learn IT, and fail to fuse it with AI. Where does that leave you? Who is willing to give you a job for 4 weeks that can be done in 2 days? Nobody is interested. That is the reality of the matter. Voice generation. The sound guys will understand. Right now, initially for you to develop a voice instrument, it would take a lot of time. Right now, you are writing a prompt, you generate, you have your beat. The story is up and over. All of us in this room, there's something we do amongst those. Unfortunately, to say, many of us are still at a level of text generation. Are we there? And now I want to take you deeper, just a little bit. So now the discussion we've been having is on the low-level artificial intelligence. So what do we need to do? We now need to develop what we call cases. Have you heard of that term? Cases. Tumeelewana? And I want to ask a question to you. The AI that the accountant will use, is it the same AI that this guy will use? It's not. Unfortunately, until today, we are all using ChatGPT. You go there, you tell it, give me a business plan, tap, up, copy, paste, and you start implementing. Which country business plan did you get? Is it Kenyan? Most likely, it has generated something for you that can work in US. But can it work in Kenya? So many of us are already so attached to ChatGPT. To an extent, we have forgotten that the data it's giving you is not localized. It's data that is applicable in Nigeria, in South Africa, in Southwest, all those countries. But is it applicable to Kenya? That's the question number one. Question number two, is it applicable to you as a person? Are we there? And I want to give you an example. And I want to use the same example that I used here. You get a job, a very good job. The video is ready. Maybe we can just see whether it will play. Oh, just play, okay. The sound is still not there. Yeah, I think so. Joseph should be having a copy. Yeah. But I want us to use the example I gave. Many of us, so that we understand what is a case. Are you following closely? You get a job in a company, and one of your job is marketing. Because in the morning we were told every business is a business of marketing. You cannot talk about business without marketing. That's the reality of the matter. So your role is very simple. You know, some people are surprised that was that said today. It was said today in the morning. Every business is a business of marketing. Make sure you take some of these notes. Because if you try to start a business, you know, some people you ask them, can you do marketing? Tell you, hey, that thing is too difficult for. You ask them, can you start a business? Yes. That's where I would want to go. And then you just tell them, okay, I wish you well. Because the truth of the matter, forget about business if you cannot do marketing. It's just not possible. It's not practical. So I was very happy when I heard that every business is a business of marketing. So you get so lucky and you get a job as a salesperson. You have WhatsApp to manage, you have a website, you have 110 things to manage. So your work becomes, you said you post on Facebook, people come to WhatsApp, so your work is to interact with them. I don't know whether you've ever been to a supermarket very early in the morning. You see those girls you see there? Very early in the morning, you ask them, where is the bread? What do? They are very happy, very energetic. They will not just tell you where it is, they will take you where the bread is. Someone is smiling as if to suggest she works there. What about 5 p.m. in the evening? They don't have the energy to lift the hard. Why is it so? They are human beings. They'll be studying the entire day. The same thing applies to this person who is responding to somebody in the morning, another one responding 5 p.m. The responses are different. Someone will notice. You are tired, you are not interested. So what does that mean? And remember, that is what you do on daily. But we started by saying repetitive tasks. Are we there? Now, when we talk about cases, that's now where it starts. You sit down alone and you audit. What do you do on daily basis? Whether as an employee, as an employer, as a pastor, whatever you do. This time we are not interested in anything else. It's you and what you do. You ask yourself, what are these things that are so tiring that I can develop a case? It's ready. Yes, I'm told that thing is ready. You can just see it. Did you see that poster?
Finance and Business Conference 2026, which will be happening at Jubilee Christian Church, Nakuru Central.
And it's over. I just saw the poster somewhere. I did a few things. I got the video. By the way, if you are the one, would you want to see the video or the poster? Why? And they are both saying the same thing. But AI has done something to make it much better. Are we there? That is just what I wanted to say. Number two, or where I was, going back to where I was, you ask yourself, surely, can I be earning a salary every day to respond to people on chat every single day? While I know my company, Sidio, every business you run, you know it. Therefore, you can put data about that company, about that business together. You train your model. Once you train your model, you automate, you put AI. You tell AI, going forward, my good friend, I want to make you my assistant. I'm no longer going to respond to any message on WhatsApp. Take over. Click a button, and that goes on. So let's look at an example which I hope will work, and we see the application of that. So here, I have a WhatsApp called Customer Care NAKURU. Sidio? So, and today is Sunday. Sidio? Yeah, today is Sunday. So I'll just ask it a very simple question. Who are you? We hope it will respond faster to save time. We have asked it who, and it has responded. Now, unfortunately, I'm sorry, many people will not see, but I can read the response. It is telling me, I am Riva, the Customer Experience Coordinator at Rift Valley Institute of Business Studies. The person who manages the WhatsApp has no idea there is a question. The phone is actually off. But he has looked at what is it that troubles me every day. Guys, IT, help us make things simple. By the way, do you offer IT courses? IT courses. Let's see whether it will know that. Good. It has responded. Yes, we offer several IT courses under the School of ICT and Computer Studies. You can inquire about specific courses. Now I'm tired, so then I just want to tell, how can I enroll? This can work 8 a.m., 10 p.m., 2 a.m. in the morning. Don't need anybody. Let's see. What is it telling me? You can enroll by visiting enroll@aravids.ac.ke. So what is my work now as the inquirer? Click the link, and I'm there. What is it telling me? Join Aravids Tibet College. Who was coordinating the whole thing? 100%. Why? We already know the data. We know the questions. We wrote it. We fix it. We tell the person, you guys, you've been focusing on responding to people on WhatsApp. Why can't you now go and think about other new strategies? Let AI take over a repetitive task. With the time, you continually do that. Now, let me challenge you. How many businesses do we have in Nakuru? Don't go to Nairobi. In Nakuru alone, how many? Are you able to speak? Can you speak? Have you seen what you have just done? What does it take to go and tell the guy, my friend, there is a tool that you can use to automate your WhatsApp, your website, and all that? At that point, you know absolutely nothing. They ask you, how much are you charging? You tell them, I'm coming back tomorrow with a demo. You look for Patrick, tell him, now I have a customer. We need to meet tomorrow. You show up, you introduce Patrick, and you say, Patrick is my technical guy. He's the one who handles technical stuff. Let him demonstrate. At that time, you know that you need to charge 50,000. You charge, Patrick does the donkey work because he is the IT guy. You take home 30,000. Duplicate that, because in the morning you are told, whatever is working, duplicate Communicate. Do you have a business or not? You have a business. Sometimes we are caged by our own ideas. There's quite a lot that we can do, but we are limited by what we think we can do. Are we there? So at any given time, I want you now to start looking at AI not as a tool for personal use. Are we there? You need to understand it at a very high level. You don't need to know how to code nothing. That is the first thing. You don't need how to know how to code anything. The only thing you need to know is that there's something called AI. You can define. You also need to know which are these cases. I've already shown you one case. Are we there? Another person will realize that I want to be a graphic designer, but I'm not so good at graphic design. Are we there? You need to develop a case specific to graphic design. You get a laptop in your own house, you tell people, I'm a graphic designer. How much does it? You must have paid somebody to do a graphic for you. How much does it cost? 500 to 1,000. Somebody here is seated is saying, I'm unemployed. True or not true? How many people are looking for graphic design in this Nakuru alone? I don't want us to go to Nairobi. Nakuru alone. So many. JCC Church alone could be doing 10 posters in a week or more. You get that? You just need to know who does the graphic design. Like now, what we have just seen here. Can I give you a tip? Simple mathematics. Find out how it is done. Go to the pastor and tell him, this technology that we have been using is old. This new one, I only need you to pay me 400 per poster. Are you done or not done? Then you put yourself very well aligned that any other new tool that is coming is on your fingertips. Because nothing can remain anonymous forever. So now or later, people will know what you have been doing. So the only way you sustain it is making sure that you are always aligned. So if you look at where we were here, if you look at all these things, everyone that I look at, I see a business opportunity. Get that? Every one of them is a business opportunity. The question is, are you positioned? Are you psychologically right? Are you ready? Are you prepared to take up? In any other case, can I tell you what will happen? You'll keep getting a job and you'll keep getting replaced. Until one day you realize something must be wrong with me. Are we there? So all those are opportunities from where I sit. ChatGPT, because that's where most of us are stuck. How many are making money from ChatGPT? How many? How many? Hey. How many are using ChatGPT? Jesus Christ. I can only say Jesus Christ. Can I show you something? Let me show you this. Because I can see majority of us here are youths. Good. How many? Let's read it together. 1,000 young entrepreneurs. Sawa? Deadline, when is it? March 15th, 2026. Tumepita hapo? We are still within the range. True or not true? Grant, how much? And it has all the way to stage 6. Eligibility. What is the eligibility? Step by step. Ada? Up to that point, are you qualified? Apiri. A Kenyan citizen and are you qualified? Atatu. You can speak English. You know there are people who speak it in their mind. But when they try to remove it, it translates to the nearest mother tongue. So long as you can speak a bit of English, do you qualify? Not affiliated with Jivaduan or I Do Care International. Do you even know them? Forget about association. Do you even know them? Are you qualified at that point? You participated in an entrepreneurship course, workshop, or what were you having today? What have you been having the entire week? Are you qualified? Why have you not applied? People didn't know. Can I tell you something? Every young Kenyan right now, a few years ago, those proposals would only be written by professors. A guy who has been in thesis, like 10, and they have marked a few. They are the only people who could apply. Today, with AI, what are you using AI to do? Men, unaitumia kufanya nini ukiamka asubuhi? I have received this message from this girl. For the longest time, she has been nuisance. Give me one response that you never forget. Tap, copy, paste. And you leave it at that. Are you utilizing AI for the right reasons? Let's not go into the details. ChatGPT that you know. What are you using it for? This money. How much is 100 USD in Kenya shillings? How much is that? Other than that, they are about. Can you start something with that money? That is stage one. And do you know how it works? Once you get that, and it's a 1,000, not two people. 1,000. You go to stage one. They come monitor and evaluate. M&E. The idea is this guy actually knows what he is doing. You auto-qualify for stage 2. You go all the way to stage 6. You have $1 million to run your business. How did it start? You saw an opportunity. This time you know AI can sort me out. So now you start using AI for the right reasons. How many of these are there? Last week but one, in NAKURU there were 6. You get that? A call was released. Only 2 people showed up. The rest don't even know there exists such an opportunity. Now you know. You also know you can utilize AI. This time for the right reason. Are we there? All these things are there. I'll give you sites that you can get them any day, any time. And your work is very simple. Now, learning how to do the next thing that we are just about to do. Can you see that? Inasema nini? Steering there. And I have a question. If for 10 years you sit with a driver, do you become a driver yourself? But in your mind, you sort of become one. You start imagining, I can see how this guy is doing. I can also do it. Until the day you actually make an attempt. Are we there? So that's the same problem we have been having. We are utilizing AI, we are utilizing ChatGPT, we are utilizing Gemini, we are utilizing the tools the same way we utilize WhatsApp. It's more of a chatbot for you. Are we there? But there is an art to it. Are we there? And that's now what we call the art of prompting. Are we there? And what is prompting? Prompting is when now you ask it a question for it to do an activity. It's not just an issue of typing. Are we there? There are a number of principles that you must follow. The first principle, inaitwa nini? Clarity. The command must be easy to understand and without ambiguity. Are we there? So ask yourself, before you write that proposal, before you prompt it to write for you the proposal, is your ask clear? Are we there? Does it have ambiguity? Are we there? That's the first thing. Number 2, it must be, and look at that, it must be specific. Are we there? You know there are people who will ask you, I want to go to Nairobi. And they stop there. Studio. Or I want to go, let me give you an example. One guy tells you, I want to go to, which building? I want to go to Biashara Center. They stop there. Another guy tells you, I want to go to Biashara Center and I've never been to Nakuru. Are you giving them the same guidance? Huyu mwenye amekwambia hajaifika Nakuru, now you start realizing if you make a mess, that guy will find themselves in Joro. So you are very careful about your response. Are we there? What about this guy who is telling you, I've been to Biashara Center, but I've sort of forgotten? You just give them a simple guidance. Many of us are approaching AI at that narrow level. When you are asking a question, it must be extremely specific. To an extent, if you give another person, they will understand the same exact thing. Number 3, you must give it what we call context. Context. This presentation that I'm doing here, those people who are graphic designer would tell you a few years ago to make it, you needed a graphic designer, not just a graphic designer, a good graphic designer. How about this thing? This thing I just told it, there's the content. I have a presentation tomorrow, give me a PDF. You are done, you are sorted. Another person will have had to spend a whole week creating that presentation. But before it gives you that, you need to give it context. That's why I asked, what is the age set of those people? Do they know something about AI? Can they define AI? I need to know the context. I need to know, I don't know the colors of this church, but when I was doing it, I gave it a reference to your website and told them the color should be technology-based, and it should also not go very far from the theme of hit enter, go take your tea, come back, verify. Is it right? You are done. Are we there? It must always have context. Next, it must have format constraint. You must tell it. Do you want to have bullets? Do you want it to number? You must give it the right information. So what are we saying? I'm reintroducing the term I used, human in the loop. AI doesn't exist on itself. You must give it information. Moving forward, I want us to use an example. Sawa? The formula, allow me to increase the font just a bit. I hope that should be a bit visible. The formula. What is the task? Summarize this business article. That's what I wanted to do. Many of you would leave it at that. Mambo imeisha. Are we there? But make it suitable for a beginner entrepreneur in Kenya. What is that? I've given it a context. It already know I'm located in Kenya and I'm a beginner in entrepreneurship. That is what we call context. Next, format. Use bullet points. Constraint. Keep it under 150 words. If you give it that prompt, it will not only give you a business article that is summarized, but it will fit what you are looking for. But what are we doing today? Tugeashia hapo, si ndio? Ukweli ama uogo? Pale juu. Tugeishabia nini? Summarize this business article, hit enter. Then you start getting a lot of things that you are not understanding. Who is the mistake? The mistake is not the model. The mistake is you. Are we there? So, that's the fact check method. Number 1, once you generate an answer, and I want you to listen to this carefully. Once you generate, the human in the loop must come in. You must verify. Because what did we start saying? It is never accurate. Are we there? So don't apply for a job, and I've seen this personally in an interview. Somebody gave it a few data, there is this job, JCC is looking for a photographer, hit enter, copy. They share on email, application letter. Pale chini imeandikwa aje, ChatGPT can make mistakes. What does that mean? This guy never verified whatever was given. Number 2, is the information accurate and trustworthy? Number next, is the response clear and understandable? And most importantly, are important details missing? You must always ask yourself that those 4 questions. Every time you use AI, always ask yourself those questions. If they are not answered, forget about that response. Go back to the drawing board. And now we know how to do the prompting. Moving on, we look at this: empowering youth, personal branding and monetization. And now this is where the rubber hits the road, because it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how good you are at something. If you cannot monetize it, then it's not important. It doesn't matter. True or not true? Are you aware people who are making a lot of money today have no formal education? Are you aware? We are not saying formal education is not good, but people who are making a lot of money have never seen the wall of a college. They have seen the wall of a college as they pass, but they have not gone through the gate. But there is something they have developed, a skill. Are we there? You can have a very good skill, because I want us to go step by step. You have a very good skill. You are a very good graphic designer, but then you've not branded yourself. So who knows that you are a graphic designer? Yourself, maybe your mom who paid your fees, and maybe you have 2 or 3 friends who have no business to give you to develop them a graphic designer. So where does that leave you? Skills is important, but it's not everything. True or not true? The second and the most important thing that you must have is personal branding. Are we there? And I want to ask you a question. When you go to your Facebook, when I read on your Facebook, let's use the simplest example. When I read on your Facebook, what do you post there? Most of you, utapata Johanna Ngeno, ukiteremka kidogo, Ruto, Mad Slide in Nairobi. Can I tell you something? If today the pastor, and maybe he'll confess when I'm not here, if he's looking for somebody to give some work, he'll do a background check. He might never tell you that, but he must do background check. How do I first of all know you? If I meet Peter Kamau, who has applied for a job, I'll actually, and if you look at many job sites today, they'll tell you to put your link to your LinkedIn, to your Facebook. Why do they tell you to do that? They want to do background search. Now, when they read, and I want us to ask ourselves here, when I read on your Facebook, can I actually notice that there's a competent accountant? Can I actually notice that this guy is a videographer? Can I actually notice that this guy is a very good pianist? Get the sense? That's where it starts. It don't start in America or US. It starts on your simple things. I can look for you, and I can get some information about you. That is what we call personal branding. Now, if you brand and you become a very good, very well branded, and there's no money coming in, is it still making sense? Doesn't make sense. So now you must go ahead and ask yourself, what is my prowess in generating or creating a business model? Are we there? And what is a business model? Simple mathematics. The same AI that we are talking about can actually create you a business model end to end, with or without capital. With or without capital. Let me ask, can you start a business without capital? You know, if you ask many people in Kenya, especially young people, why haven't you started a business? You know the answer? Hey, it's capital. Is it true? In my own opinion, I sometimes don't agree with that theory. Can I tell you something? If I give you 1 million today, and you don't have the idea, there are only 2 outcomes. You actually start the business. Sooner or later, you'll hit something we call rock bottom. You didn't know how to do it anyway. So your problem has not been money. Your problem is, what can I actually do? Are we there? One time, just before joining university, I realized I need to do some business, but I don't have capital. But then I remembered there's a guy we schooled with, who today is a very senior guy. And that guy was a scout. You know these scouts? But I don't have capital. But this guy, there is something he knows about scouts. He is so passionate about scouts. Do I know anything about scouts? In fact, I sort of avoided them. But now I needed to start something. So I called the guy, I told him, I am having a business idea that we can do. He asked me what? I told him, we need to give uniforms to scouts in Madeira constituency. But do we have capital? No, I told him, we have a very simple business model. We will be going to the school. We see the head teacher. We are not seeing any other person. The head, if it meant taking 3 weeks to see the head teacher, so be it. We met the head teacher. We told them, now we are here, we want to empower your scouts. He asked you how? We want to train them. Are you charging? No. For free? Yes. He is so excited. So what does he do? He calls the teacher in charge of. Akisikia umetumwa kutoka kwa head teacher, anything you tell him, kuanzia hapo, you are sort of the boss. So we tell him, we want to see the scouts. We see the scouts, tease, attention. You know, I'm not understanding. But I know where my business is. You know where my business is? I'll tell them, you guys, for you to be qualified students, you need uniform. And the teacher is there. They all go home and tell the parents with the instruction of the teacher. Na tunaanza wapi? Hii iko hapa. Ilikuwa inaitwa nini? Ni hiyo. I still remember. Because we never went beyond that. Hiyo too. How much? Do you even know how much it cost? I told the teacher 200. We are told come back next week, Wednesday. You go back next week, Wednesday. As a Form 4 leaver, that is the first time I touched money in bulk. Went to Nyeri. Asked for those things. I'm told is 80 shillings. We bought them, and then I realized now we need to enhance the model. As we take them, we need a photographer. Then we told the teacher we need to buy trees. So there is a ceremony. We are planting trees there, but in my pocket, there's money. Did I have the capital? We left that school. So every Wednesday, we are going there, teach, tension, we are done. Trees planting. How many schools are in Madeira constituency? Duplicate that. You have started with a scarf. You have all the way to. The business collapsed. I went to there, and how did it collapse? Because I have to go to school. I left the other guy with the business. Today, can I tell you what he is? Out of that skill, he is the official landscaper. You know landscaping? Of Rigathi Gachagua. Today, any house, any hotel, anything owned by Rigathi Gachagua, that's what he does. That seed today has grown into a big company. Do you know what he calls the company? God has made us great. Gohamag. And the story is over. Get the sense? Done and dusted. So is problem really the capital? I don't think so. The problem is, do you have the idea to start with? Ask yourself, if you are given 10 million today, or 1 million, or 100,000, is there anything you can start with it? Otherwise, even if you get that cash today, 2 weeks down the line, you still go back to the same problem because you'll start unsustainable business. Somebody want to be a nurse, but kuku ikichijwa, damu ikitoka na, because they want to start a business to make people happy. They want to be in a career to make people happy, but you are not in it. So do you have the passion? Do you have the zeal? Do you have the idea? Those are the things it takes. So let's look at examples that we have already used. Who cannot design something? Anybody can design anything because it starts in your mind. Long time ago, for you to be a graphic designer, you needed to go to school, to college, actually. Today, do you need that? You only need to know the name of the organization, the colors of the organization, a little bit details of the organization, and what they want to achieve. put a prompt, hit enter, you have a poster. You tell that guy, Tumape, you said. Before it becomes common knowledge, which will take 4 or 5 years, what are you doing about it? See the problem? So the tools that you already have, are using them. Social media management, I've just shown you an example here. How many people have opened Facebook pages that are not giving them even a coin because they don't know the art of managing those pages? Nakuru alone, can I scare you? Nakuru alone, the market for social media management, you cannot even scratch the surface. A young girl, a young gentleman, you wake up and you determine, now I want to be a social media manager. So you are managing your Facebook. Are you not doing it? Why is it that you have not commercialized that skill? You are already competent in that. Why have you not commercialized? Is it doable? Do you know what it takes? 2 days of learning the art of graphic design prompt engineering. How many days? Number 2, a little courage of showcasing your work. This is what I can do. Number 3, and the most important, the ability to ask for more. You have a business, you are done and you are dusted. Right now we have our Facebook page. How are we using it for? What are we doing with it? But we are waiting for a day there will be a certain miracle, and then God says, receive jobs. You will not receive them. Because it all starts from your brains. So look at social media management. I just want to give examples because we cannot exhaust them. There are so many. So for youths, can we now make a declaration? The problem is not anything. It's not the economy, really. Because you can only blame the economy when you have some money to pay tax. True or not true? That's when you can complain, hii serikali inatukata tax. But can you now at this point join them to say mambo ya tax? No. You need to make the money first. Then you start asking yourself, how do you deal with the government? So let's start already. When you look at people who are in business, I've already shown you the power of customer care. That is just one example. Are we there? You can create as many as you want. Are we there? Imagine a situation where you identify and you realize many people are struggling with customer support. Don't go into a lot of details. Just go and teach them how they can integrate AI in their customer support. And I've already given you a model. You don't need to be a tech guy. You know the problem we have been having, and I want to insist on that. We have been thinking that AI is supposed for the IT people. See that challenge? It's a big problem in Kenya. Can I tell you how it works? This is how it works. And the IT people here can agree with me. You are the one who are supposed to identify your problem. Tumeelewana? You identify your problem. Once you identify it, you take it a step further. You document it. At that point, that's now when you go to Joseph and tell him, I have this idea. Can we implement? But what is happening? It's inverted, the other way around. You tell Joseph, give us solutions on AI. What solutions will he give you? He's not in your business. True or not true? He don't know what business you want to do. So now we must invert that. AI technology has nothing to do with IT people. The initiator of technology is always the user. I'm the one who is supposed to study here, and here is, hey, this mic is making me so tired, and I've seen there is another mic. So I tell them, hey guys, Apostle Nganga, I tell them, I think this mic is making my work so difficult. Can you give me a solution? Did they come up with the idea? No. It always starts with you. Are we identifying the problems? Predictive sales and data. This is now my favorite point. Predictive sales and data. At this point, now we already know what is data. Sidio? Then now there is a new term, predictive sales. Can you imagine? You know the definition of predictive analysis. Then you go to Jiranis and you tell him, you see now, there's something we can develop that for every customer who will be coming, we'll be getting their data. And every morning, we'll be sending them a message, telling them the new things that we have. You go ahead and tell him, and by the way, there is a way we can be able to predict what stock to bring tomorrow based on the data that we have collected. You know what will have saved him? Bringing dead stock for a supermarket that big. Will he buy or not buy? He has no option. Because at that point, you're not addressing your problem. Umeenda ukastudy, ukajua now these people are struggling with this problem. You go there and you tell them, hey, by the way, you know there's a way you can be able to monitor the productivity of each empro. He asks you how. You tell them there's an AI system, camera that will put. It will actually be able to analyze for you. In the evening, this guy, his interactivity. It will go ahead and tell you his ability to sell. At the end of the month, you'll have data telling you who is the best, who is actually wasting time here. Will he buy or not buy? Do you need to implement it yourself? Are you a tech person? You're not. You only need to identify the problem. Are we there? Do a bit of research. Once you do a bit of research, now go look for the tech guys. Is that a business idea or not a business idea? Predictive sales and data. I'm telling you for free, and there's one who was said in the morning, if you walk to any business and you tell them there's something they can do to increase sales, there's no way they are telling you no. Because what is the struggle of any business? Making sales. So if this guy can be able to give me data of all the people in Nakuru who are millionaires, and my business is selling rad, would I be interested or not interested? So I can decide. My work is very simple. Looking for data of people I think can afford rad. Then I come to you with that data. I tell you, you see now, these people are the millionaires of Nakuru. What does it save you? It has saved me time to keep looking for, you know, you are told you cannot sell to everybody. That's what we were told. So how do you actually use it? He's looking for data. You go with that data, you tell him, hey, my friend, I've seen you struggle with selling rad because you are going around motorbikes or you are selling to everybody. They will not buy. But now I'm giving you a solution. You see these people, they have ever bought a rad in Nakuru. So you know two things. They have ever bought a rad and there's their contact. So what do you now need to waste a lot of time? You now need to target those specific people. That is what we call predictive sales and data. That's where it starts. So let nobody tell you that there is a miracle from South Africa that will come and give you a business idea. Business ideas are all over. The question is, are you open? Is your mind prepared to see them? Look at these people. I talked here about personal branding. Personal branding. What does personal branding take? Can I tell you what it takes? It takes you getting a suit like this. See this? Walking to a studio, getting a photo, updating your LinkedIn, going to ChatGPT or whatever, giving it structured information about yourself. You update. You understand that? Then you start showing up to these youths every Saturday, every Sunday, in the youth meeting. Can I tell you how I would make money? In the youth meeting, I would just come here and I realize, hey, all these guys are struggling with a certain thing. I tell them, by the way, do you know this is what I do? You consistently talk about it. You know what will happen? They start imagining you are an expert in that area. The next thing they do is look for you, look for your LinkedIn. There's something else that we call referral. You know referral? When somebody knows you know something, and you have demonstrated, they will always tell another person about you. So this church has 1,100 youths. Each one of them knows you are a graphic designer. Do you know the amount of market you have? You cannot exhaust that market. Are we there? As we get to the end, your AI adoption roadmap, because you must start. True or not true? Where do you start? Number one, awareness. What are we doing today? We are creating awareness. But for some people, it will stop there. At least we are lucky. All of us have been to a class. Did you score the same grade? Did you have the same teachers? Same books? But one guy scored A, another guy scored E. What happened? You know what the teacher did? The teacher's role is to create awareness. So the church has done its part. What next? Experimentation. Tumeelewana? Everything must be experimented. You need to actually make attempts. Try. In your mind, you know now I must position myself as a graphic designer. Start experimentation. As you experiment, what happens is that you start mastering. Are we there? You start looking for experts in a certain area. Once you are done with that, what are you supposed to do? Skill building. Step number 3. Skill building. And how do you build skills? I'll tell you how. And in fact, I'll give you access to a free course for you to get that. Number 4, integration. This is now where the action happens. You integrate what you actually want to do and you make it a reality. So if you skip one of those, something will go wrong somewhere. Last but not least, do what? Equip yourself for the future. Are we there? Those people who have good cameras, you can scan that. And when you scan that, you'll definitely get access to a free course with a certificate and everything on artificial intelligence. Ed to ed. Because we are saying an action must be taken. How long does it take you? 3 weeks. You have learned, you have a certificate on artificial intelligence. Tumefika mpaka hapo. So I want to beg to stop there and hope that we'll take actions. Thank you.
Come on, put your hands together. Put your hands together and appreciate the presentation. Appreciate the presenter as well. Wow, wow. Is that the way to clap for the first presentation you have had on AI? Amazing. And I could tell you had more to share with us. Would you want him to come back? I'm learning some key things here, and I'm going to be a pastor that utilizes AI, in every ethical way possible. Because there's a lot that we can learn and apply from AI. Let me hear from a number of people what stood out for you. What stood out for you? That was a brilliant business idea. You go to schools, you target the principal, you tell them you want to see the scouts, and then you want to train them. You're not even so sure about how to train them, but your idea is to sell scarves to them. I wonder what would have happened if you sold them the shirts and the shorts and the socks and the shoes. Amazing ideas. The firimbi and the what? The badges. A lot you can do. Tell your neighbor agency. Agency ni the ability ya kujituma. Agency. There's agency and then there's agency. Agency is a very key asset in your life. So let me hear what stood out for you. Yes, Johnny. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, yeah. And I recommend that we have him come back again so that he can teach us that and more. Sindio? And thank you so much, Johnny, for that. Let me hear what stood out for you from a number of people. Just lift up your hand. What stood out for you? Yes, Pastor Lois Joko. Yes. Yeah. You thought AI was ChatGPT. Now you know ChatGPT is a small part of AI. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what stood out for Pastor Lois Jauko. Someone else? Someone else? All right? Pastor Jauko. It's only the people in front walikuwa na something that stood out for them, yeah? Yes, Pastor Jauko. Now you can have an idea in your mind. Yes. Yeah. Get the idea, fine tune it with AI, then start to monetize it. I loved the example he gave about two people selling phones. One just sells the phone and smiles as the customer is walking away. But the other one takes the data. You're getting my point. 3 years later, way after you've already forgotten who bought a phone from you, you know, you are reminded. AI reminds you. You know, there's this person who bought you this phone, and by the way, 3 years about to lapse, which is the lifespan of the phone. You need to get in touch with them, tell them that there is a new model that has come up. I mean, look at how helpful that is. Somebody else, what stood out for you? Yes, in blue jacket. Yes. Yeah. Pursue. Yeah. Yes. Wow. Yeah. While the presenter was making the presentation, he checked into ChatGPT what career he would best be suited for. And actually, it gave him responses that resonated with his interest. Yeah. But of course, don't turn AI into your prophet. It is basically looking into your data that you have previously perhaps fed into your social media handles, and then giving back to you. I was interested when I wrote, who is Andrew Mwangi? It even started telling me he's the father of Ray Njoroge. Can you imagine? There was a time I actually checked, and it gave me even my academic credentials. Masters in this, undergrad in this. Amazing. That nowadays, you really don't have to use private investigators. At you go and track down Johnny for 2 weeks. Let me know where he goes, what he likes, what he does. You just request some of those things. And I think then there's a flip side. How much of your own private life do you key into, your personal computer? And maybe you will tell us the flip side of AI next time. Somebody else? Yes, Lorna Mwaura. What's your middle name, by the way? What's your beautiful middle name? Cherotich Mwaura. Doesn't it sound nice? Yeah. Yes.
I that can be used in the hotel industry is different from what I use in my industry, and it was an eye opener of how it can make me go to the next level in business.
Yeah.
If I apply everything that has been taught today, and we look forward to another session.
Yeah.
And yesterday, as we were being taught about multiple streams of income, I've learned that probably if I take it seriously, it will be another source of income.
I'm imagining how Lorna is a very gifted designer. Do you call it Lorna Couture, or you call it Cherotich Couture? Or what do you call your brand? Designed by Totich. And I'm just thinking how your clientele base in Nakuru is, how many customers you have, including my wife, for example. And you've already taken their measurements, their waistline, their length, and what. Maybe when a new design comes up or a new fabric comes up, imagine how you can use AI to design an outfit for somebody who's not even come to ask for that outfit, because you already have their measurements. And then you send them on WhatsApp. Imagine Titi, and you see yourself in this beautiful dress, this beautiful fabric. Do you think it makes sense? Am I already having an AI idea? Yeah, uko na measurements zao. Sasa unaenda una get fabric poa, design poa, na unawatumia with their photo, you know, and the outfit on them. Imagine ukijiona na suti fulani ama na outfit fulani unakapoa. She will want to buy that outfit. Sasa hata mwenye hakuwa anataka kwenda kwa lona amshonee. They are tempted. I like how I look on this. Do you think it's workable? Yeah. See how you can use AI for your business. Now I know now in my ministry, I can have talking posters. Are you seeing? Have you seen how you can use AI in your whatever? Yes, Joseph.
Maybe it's on to add to Lorna first. There's actually I've just checked it right now. It's called Lift AI, Lift Up AI. That one you can just take the photo of a person, use the fabric, design the cloth, like utole picture.
Imagine.
Yes.
And you know how women love looking nice. Ukimtumia picha yake amekaa vile hajaikaa. Even if he was planning to buy avocado, he forgets avocado. Ama ananunua hiyo avocado anaipaka kwa barabara anateleza all the way kwa lona. Do you have any question?
So
yes, sorry, Joseph.
What I've picked up is, and this is where most of the people I think I have met because I'm in the IT industry, and I've been trying to tell people what the AI can do for them.
Yeah.
But in this case, the whole point is the originator of what it can do for you, it's you.
Yeah.
So
you come up with the idea.
You come up with your own idea. And then the tech guys, okay, us, we are the ones now to implement it for you.
All right.
Yes.
It's a commercial break. Sasa ni kazi unajitafutia. Yeah, it makes sense. Sindio, it's agency, ni kujituma. I'm just imagining if you're in landscape business, you go visit your friends, you take a photo of their compound. You go feed it in the system. Yeah? Show me the type of flowers that would match this background. How do I prepare the lawn, the sidewalks, everything. Have you seen that, by the way? Have you seen that on Reels? Yeah. Visit somebody's compound, piga picha. Alafu uende uigeneratie some nice digital landscaping. Alafu unawatumia. I can do this for you. I can turn your compound into this. Alafu natafuta mtu wa landscape, unasema, this is my technical guy. Yeah, by the way, think out of the box. You know why? There was a gentleman who came to see me the other Sunday saying, akiwa amefadhaika, amesononeka. We can use all the deep Swahili words for that mental state. And he said, sijui nimekosea Mungu wapi. Nimekosa pesa. Sijui hata ninaenda kufungiwa nyuma. I don't know whether he's here, and I'm not saying this to embarrass you. Is he here? Can I be honest with you? When he said that, immediately I didn't want to sit and listen to him pity party. Sijui nimekosea Mungu wapi, nimekosa pesa, hata sina pesa ya rent. In me I had righteous indignation, I had a righteous anger. I told him, God does not impoverish you to punish you. That's not how our God behaves. And I told him, you need to ask God for a business idea. Stop murmuring and complaining, pouting and throwing a tantrum. Ati Mungu nimekosea wapi. Ask him for a business idea. Now, we prepare a finance and business conference like this. Is he here? I would be surprised if he came on Friday. I would be surprised if he came on Saturday. Alafu kuna watu wamefanya pastors wakuwe watu wa kufanya kazi ambazo hazina maana. I mean, I'm a new generation of pastors. You won't come to tell me, please, ongelesha Mungu, akuambie, uniambie, ni nini nimemkosea. That's nonsense. That's gibberish. Listen, he creates such a platform for you. Then you don't show up. And then tomorrow when I'm hurrying to take my wife out for dinner, you stop me, please. Ambia Mungu akuambie nimemkosea. I won't do that. Not in 2026. And you can tell when people want somebody to do a pity party with. So I called Johnny and I told him, Johnny, listen to this guy, because I know Johnny has a gift of inspiration. I told him, please speak to this young man, because I wanted him to fix his doctrine. So you invited him for the finance and business conference. During the week alikuwa nakuitisha do. Unamwambia kuja business conference. Afunzwe where money is hidden. And afunzwe the secret places to find money. Afunzwe the dimensions of wealth. Alafu akose kukuja, alafu kesho unitext and you try to guilt trip me. The reason God gives you is so you can share. Let me tell you. You know you had better have come here and then you say, Pastor Andrew, I came and I got this idea. Can you pray for me as I implement this idea? Are you seeing it makes more sense? Imagine what he stopped. He must be a busy man. He stopped all that to come and teach us. And then you don't show up. How many of you, by the show of hands, attended the business conference Friday, Saturday? You attended the business conference. The rest of you, I want to trust is because you didn't get permission from work. Unless you are fighting in Iran, unless you are the one who was bombing Iran. Where were you? Alafu kuja ati tukemee mapepo ya ufukara. We don't do that nonsense. God brings wisdom, God brings edification, God brings the knowledge. And it is our duty now to take it. Refuse to be a lazy young man. My wife and I, we are pastors, full-time pastors. Many years we've pastored 2 churches at the same time. Pastoring here, dashing to pastor there. At the same time, we have professional work that we do on the side. We have businesses that we do. We are farmers. You should see me digging holes to plant pawpaw trees. You should see us working in the farm. Yet somebody sits on their royal posterior, does nothing the whole week, and then on Sunday he comes, ongelesha Mungu akuambie nimemkosea. Are you seeing any problem with that? So I'm going to ask the speaker to come again one of these days. How many of you will attend? So I don't know whether, are you available next Sunday afternoon? Are you available? You can confirm. You can confirm? Yeah. We try our best to invoice your voice. So even after this session, we will invoice your voice. So when we call you to come, I know that's a small motivation. Your desire is to impact on our lives and to bless us. But next Sunday afternoon, would you want us to have another session on AI? How many of us will attend? Good of us. Good of us. Let's pray. Father, thank you so much for ministering to us today. Help us know how to apply what we have learned today. Thank you so much for using your servant to speak into our lives. We may never satisfactorily remunerate him, but God, you have your own way of blessing him and replenishing him. Oh God, we are grateful that you have used him to be a blessing to us. We thank you for him in Jesus' name. Bless him and his family. Are you married? Bless him and his wife and their dear children and prosper them in Jesus' name. Amen. Please stand up, and now may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore.